There we go. What's happening, Rebels? Good to see you on this Thursday. It's noon. It's 76 degrees in Colorado. Can't believe it. Verse of the day sponsored by YouVersion, Bible.com, my favorite Bible app. Look at that. Looking at it right there every single day. Proverbs 21:21. Whoever pursues righteousness and kindness will find life, righteousness, and honor. Ooh, that's good. Let's do that again. I missed some of that this morning. Whoever pursues righteousness and kindness will find life, righteousness, and honor. I was talking to somebody recently about witnessing. There was a crotchety old man he's being witnessed to, and he's just all incensed and saying he's offended and how dare you and shaking fingers. And the person talking to him was kind of like pushing back and being a little offended themselves. And I said, what are you talking about? This person clearly wants to know the Lord. And I'm like, what are you talking about? All he does is argue and fight and da-da-da. I go, yeah. And he keeps coming back and he keeps coming back and he keeps coming back. Right? Isn't that amazing? Lord, thank you for all the rebels out there in the struggle to be better parents and better spouses. Give us the strength and courage to be gracious and loving in all situations. Let us do what's right always. Rebels, recently the Supreme Court handed down a decision lifting the ban on gambling U.S.-wide on sports gambling. It's been all over ESPN. Rebels know I don't watch a lot of sports, but I love SportsCenter. I love sports highlights. I watch it every day. I wake up, I go downstairs, and I turn on I don't care, Fox Sports 1, ESPN, mostly SportsCenter, all those. Supreme Court decision came down, lifting the ban on gambling. I don't hear enough about this. Here's why this is terrible. Gambling is an addiction. You can become addicted to gambling. It is very easy to become addicted to, and here's what nobody's talking about. Gambling is the hardest addiction to kick. And there's a real scientific reason for this. I happen to know it. I'm going to share it with you. It's called a variable reward system. If you like getting high, if you were a baseball player in college and you blew your elbow out and you're, 20 years old and they hand you a big bottle of Oxycontin and they go, take these for pain, just be careful. That ought to be negligence, even though it's not. You're going to get hooked on Oxy. When you run out, you're probably going to go to heroin. With Oxycontin, with opiates, with drugs, if you take enough of it, you'll get high. That's a cause and effect. You shoot heroin, you get high. You smoke enough weed, you get high. You take enough Adderall, you get high. That's what it's for. Gambling isn't that way. Gambling is what's called a variable reward system. Will I win this time? Will I not win this time? Will I win? Will I lose? I don't know. It's a chance. And because you don't know every single time I'm going to get it, that's what that needle is for. Whack, I'm going to get it every single time. Those are hard addictions to kick. You can kick them. The variable reward system of gambling that I don't know if this time I'm going to feel that euphoria or if I'm going to feel so let down, those highs and lows are so extreme. It is one of the hardest addictions to kick. And now what we've done is we have opened that up to the entire U.S. The entire United States is now open to being exposed to that kind of addiction. And why? Money. All the analysts are talking about it. The NFL, the NBA have been talking about this for years. They want a cut of the profits. You got to understand. You got to open your eyes, Rebels. You got to open your eyes to what's going on. The NBA and the NFL, all these organizations are now going to the gambling places, Atlantic City, Las Vegas, the online gambling, saying, listen, we're creating a product that you're benefiting from. You've got to give us a kickback for this. That's why the decision was made. They want the money. They're going to expose your kids. They're going to expose college kids. Do you know what havoc this is going to wreak on sporting events? I mean, just think about that. It's so scary what's going to go on. Go watch the documentary Icarus. People want to win. Most will do anything to do it. And if you involve money, if now winning involves money, your college is going to get more money if you win more. What are we going to do? It's going to be super nuts. What are we talking about? Amen, bro. What about porn? What about porn? Chris Wallace. Yes, that's that. It's an addiction Chris Wallace, that addiction is just like any other addiction. And like any other addiction, what's up, Steven? Listening from Billings. I appreciate it. Dawn, good to see you. Angela, good to see you. Pam, thank you. I'm glad that you agree. Chris, the addiction with pornography is like any other addiction, and like any other addiction, what starts off getting you high today won't get you high tomorrow or the next day. It must increase. That's the problem with pornography. That's why it's so insidious, because what stimulates you today, what titillates you today, what excites you today may not excite you tomorrow. And every now and then, is it every time? No. Every now and then, you get a Ted Bundy, a Jeffrey Dahmer, a Saddam Hussein. The amount of pornography they found in those bunkers was shocking. And that is, again, that's right, the law of diminishing return. What's up? What's up, Jeff Barron? Good to see you. Ooh, how clean is that line? Ooh, how clean is that line? So good, so good. And I worry about the gambling thing. I'm going to cut it off. I don't want this to be too long. People don't listen when it's super long. That gambling thing is serious. It really is. It's very, very serious. You ought to think about that and start talking to your kids about it. Honestly, start talking to your kids about it early. If they are like me, I have an addictive personality, I could struggle with gambling. Here's the greatest news for me in the whole world. I'm the worst gambler ever. I couldn't lose more. I walk near a slot machine, money falls out of my pockets. I'm the worst gambler ever. I've been so bad at it, I just don't do it. One time, I won with Laura on penny slots. I won penny slots. I thought I broke the machine. We actually won $1,500. It was crazy. And you always talk about the one time, but you don't talk about every other time that you've lost. My dad was on the Attorney General's Commission to study gambling, understands just, if you want to talk about predatory practices, the predatory practices of casinos and gambling is insane, the things I know about this. In fact, the casinos were buying credit card information because if you data mine credit card information, you can find people that are impulse buyers. You can figure out who's an impulse buyer based on buying purchases, because supermarkets have every single thing in their supermarket mapped out, 100% mapped out. Use your little punch-in code to get your little coupon. My goodness, they're giving you pennies and they're gaining dollars with that, because it says what you buy, where, when, how often, and they data mine that. So impulse buyers, they're the ones buying candy at the checkout line. They're the ones buying magazines at the checkout line, all that junk and stuff you don't need. Those people are so much more susceptible to gambling and gambling addiction than anybody else. Casinos found this out. So they data mine all the credit card companies, and then what do? Oh, they offer you a free trip to Atlantic City, offer you a free trip to Las Vegas. I mean, hey, we'll put you up at a casino. We'll give you $100 to start off gambling with. Why? Because we know you're going to sell your soul. We know you'll sell your soul. You're helpless. We know you've already got the bent towards addiction. We know you're an impulse buyer. That's called predatory practices. They've been sued for this. That's serious predatory practices. By the way, you know casinos. Do the casinos get built upon winners or losers? I mean, listen, I love going to Vegas. I've got good family that lives right outside of Las Vegas. I love it. It's so much fun. The food is amazing. The shows are amazing. It's beautiful. And it is built on the backs of addicts. It's built on the backs of addicts. A free-for-all for identity thieves and hackers. Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. That's the other part, too. Honestly, I love that you are rebels. I am just being more and more free because I understand why you come here. Thank you, Marshall, and I can't wait to see you at lunch in just a little bit. So, my dad has had very special access to information that most people don't get. He has been called upon by presidents, current and past, for advice and for help. He has been called upon by generals and commandants over the years. I have witnessed this. He was asked by the Attorney General 2 separate times to be on presidential commissions to study. What's up, Roberta? Good to see you. He was asked to study gambling, and he was also asked to study pornography. The only reason pornography goodness gracious, as bad as the pandemic of pornography is today, it would be a million times worse if it wasn't for my dad and the stand he made on the study of pornography by the Attorney General, because he understands as a trained clinical psychologist. I heard Joe Rogan talking about this one time. I wish he would call me to talk about it because he had terrible information about that commission. I know, Jeff, I've been talking about that the whole time on gambling. He got his PhD from USC. He understands the human brain and what pornography can do to it. And gambling, by the way. That's why he was there. As a trained clinical psychologist and someone that understands the family, that's why he was there. What they did also uncover that our government does know, pornography is 80% backed by organized crime. So I want you to understand this. 80% of all pornography produced and consumed in America is backed by organized crime. Should I repeat it one more time? 80%. So, Pornhub, RedTube, PornTube, I don't know, you name it, 80% backed by organized crime. Okay? Just, you got to understand that. The entire industry of pornography is 80% backed by organized crime. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. And the government knows this. Okay? The government full and well knows this. So, as shocking as this is, by the way, if you watch Icarus, just, right, nuclear out the ears, gambling is 100% backed by organized crime in America. Gambling is 100% backed by organized crime. 100%. Riverboat gambling, Atlantic City, Nevada, Indian casinos, lottery, I don't know, what else? Every bit of it, organized crime. And guess what we just did? We opened it up to every single state. Every single state. We just said, hey, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Don't worry about it. Do whatever you want. In fact, you know, I was talking to somebody about this yesterday, and they said, oh, it's the same thing with marijuana. It's not. It's not the same thing with marijuana. Okay? Listen, I'm not happy about a lot of things that are going on in our country. And it's so interesting that we just have this crazy outcry over marijuana. No one's ever died smoking marijuana. It's not addictive. It's not addictive, and no one's ever died. Should you all do it? No. Goodness gracious. Please don't get it twisted. I am not saying that. But we don't get that outcry for OxyContin and fentanyl and Big Pharma creating synthetic heroin and the Supreme Court opening up the hardest addiction possible to kick to all 50 states and just going, oh, hey, just hope you got your state's best interest in mind. Politicians. Hey, politicians, hope you're not greedy. Hope you're not. Goodness gracious, it's so ridiculous, so ridiculous. So, welcome to America. Have you seen that Donald Glover video, by the way? Why are people freaked out about that? I don't get that. By the way, that white lady that did a re-version of that, that's terrible. Nobody should watch that. That is awful. That is awful. But I don't know. I saw that video I think I saw that 17 minutes after it was posted. This is America, Donald Glover. It's going to fund education, right? Oh yeah, you got to be in it to win it. The lotto, funding education. Everything can bet on sports, but college. Exactly. See, Jeff, that's what I was talking to my dad about that last night. That's going to change. It absolutely will change. It will have to change because you cannot allow organizations to make billions. It will end up being trillions of dollars on the backs of these college kids who you abuse. You abuse them. You're not giving them a good education. That's not what they're there for. They're there to make you billions of dollars. That's why they're there. And you think they're not going to want a piece of that pie? Hey, I'll throw a game because you're taking advantage of me. You get a disadvantaged youth that's so talented, that was given these gifts by God, that just so, I mean, the miracles we see. I have gotten into sports lately. Someone gave me, they gifted us this subscription, and I got Sports Center. I'm into the playoffs. What an amazing, why not? Why not flip that system on its head and set those kids up to be the most successful whatever for the rest of their lives? Why not create funds for those kids with people that'll show them, what's that documentary? It's not Lucky. It's Broke. That documentary Broke that will get them help to when they pull the, you can't just hand somebody $1 million. You'll ruin them. The lottery ruins people. We could do that. Can you imagine the success our country could have? Can you imagine the stories, the inspiration, if colleges would look at the investment in these kids and say, you know what? You're not going to get the education these first 4 years. You're really not. You're probably not. And then maybe you'll get drafted. Maybe you won't. If you don't, hey, for the investment for your time that you can never get back, for these prime years that you are at your peak physical condition, that you focused every ounce of yourself into this, hey, we have a whole program for you to make you successful if you'll take advantage of it. That's our gift back to you. You make it to the NBA, fantastic. If you fall on hard times, you get an injury, you get bopped out. I mean, if you go to the NFL, which has the shortest careers, the least pay, and the worst injuries, you go into the NFL and you get an injury, you blow your knee out and you can't play anymore and your contract goes under. Hey, you know what? The investment you put into this college, we have invested that. It's been waiting for you, and now we've got a team we can do this. People are like, oh, you're communist. Oh, no, I'm not. That's good business. That's good business. That's good business. Hey, if you come to our university, we're not going to leave you out in the cold. We're not going to leave you out in the cold. We are going to set you up for success. You come to our university, what's that going to do? We need to prepare apologies to Auburn, Pete Rose. Oh, my goodness. Right. Oh, my goodness. All right, I'm late for lunch. I love you guys. Honestly, talk about that with gambling. Talk about gambling. People bring up gambling, bring up sports gambling, they bring up online betting, college gambling, all of that. Talk about how it's the hardest addiction to kick. The hardest addiction to kick. These online sports betting things, they're setting you up to learn gambling early on. Start for free. No credit card required. No age limit. Play poker online just to get your friends. No big deal. It's just for fun. They get celebrities involved because these celebrities don't understand. This is setting people up to become addicted to something that's the hardest thing to kick. That's what it is. You got to open those eyes, man. The advertisers are not out for your best interest. They're out for your dollars, your time, and your attention. That's it. You got to look out for you. You got to look out for your family. Be that rebel. Buck that system. Love you. Peace. I'm out.